Welcome back. So glad that you joined me. When was the last time that we took the chance to actually delve into the topic of how our lives and the directions actually influence not just ourselves, but other people as well? Too often, that's a subject that we would rather not face because so often we're focused on the negative, and that's all that infiltrates our thoughts and feelings and anything when it comes to the subject. But we don't spend enough time talking about how the influence that we could have or we do have might end up in the positive note. Even while we're talking about that, I'm sure many of us will look back and recall or recollect the very fact that we had so many people throughout the course of our lives that have led us to the point that we're at today, don't we? I mean, even with myself, I can remember teachers, teachers and pastors and people that were like grandparents to me that specifically helped me to become the man that I am today. But even more than that, even with looking at that, well, I can list those. I know specifically there's two people in my life that I would not be here if it wasn't for them, and that's my parents. All of us have a very rich history that it's important that we are actually banking on or using that as a springboard to go and help others, because it's by how we've been led that we're able to help and lead others. Throughout the Bible, we see not just stories, but scriptures themselves of how God points to the very fact that it's through certain events and certain people that other people are brought to Him. And if it wasn't for them, then we wouldn't have certain things that we do today. This is why we have the scriptures. This is why we have these stories. This is why we have these experiences, so that we're able to read, to study, and to remember not just what God has done in our past dealings and in our past history, but even more, how He continues to lead us today. We need so much to be remembering that, to be reminded of that, so that we're not just focused on, well, look, there's all these bad things, and, well, obviously there's nothing good around. While there seems to be all this bad stuff, there is yet still hope, because God is still in control. He's got His people around. He's got people doing what needs to be done, even when it seems the darkest in this world's history. Speaking of this, our devotional verse for this week comes to us from Isaiah chapter 52 and verse 7. It says this: "How lovely on the mountains are the feet of him who bring good news, who announce peace and brings good news of happiness, who announces salvation and says to Zion, your God reigns." Now, right there, I want to encourage us. We're not just talking about one gender. We're talking about everyone, everyone that's willing to be used. God has amazing news, amazing joy, because of the very fact that He calls each one of us to go and to carry His message, not just to this area, but to the ends of the world and beyond. We are called to be co-laborers with Him, so that in doing this, we're able to not just help our own character, but to be a helping point, a sharing point, a shaping point in helping others draw closer to Jesus. So as we draw closer to Him, we're drawing closer to each other, so that we're ready for that soon coming day when He's ready to make everything right once again. I don't know about you. I am looking forward to that day. I'm banking on that day, and even more, I'm banking on the very fact that all of us will be together forever. Not just that 1,000 years in heaven, but the infinity, the eternity that we'll have here on this earth, learning with Jesus, growing together, even more, exploring the universe together forever. Thank you again for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time as we continue to study God's Word together. God bless.